Hello and welcome to Court TV News at 4. I am Frank Omalape and here are some of the reports we're filing now. The United States Department of State has warned its citizens in and outside Nigeria to avoid traveling to Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe, the three states most ravaged by insurgency. Citing insecurity in the region, it described the situation in northeast Nigeria as remaining fluid and unpredictable. Three southern states, though, were also added to the list of no-go zones. The U.S. Department of State strongly urged U.S. citizens in Nigeria to consider their own personal security and to keep personal safety in the forefront of their travel planning, reading a statement issued on Tuesday. The department continues to recommend against odd but essential travel to the following states due to risks of kidnappings, robberies, and other armed attacks. These include Adamawa, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Borno, Delta, Gombe, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Niger, Plateau, Rivers, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara State. The statement further said there was a possibility of an outbreak of violence during the election, adding that the Nigerian armed forces were incapable of guaranteeing the safety of U.S. citizens. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Mahmood Mohammed, has sworn in chairmen and members of election petition tribunals for all 36 states and the FCT ahead of the 2015 general elections. This is a demonstration of the readiness of the judiciary for the task of determining petitions arising from the forthcoming election. Speaking at the ceremony in Abuja, Justice Mahmood warned the judges against accepting gifts or favors from politicians. To the report.
One after another, the judges swear to an oath to be fair and firm while presiding over post-election matters. No doubt, the tasks before them are quite challenging, but the Chief Justice is convinced that the reward of a job well done will continue to trail them in their careers. He, however, reminds them of procedural adjudication on election petitions, especially the statutory rules on time.
It is pertinent to emphasize that Section 134 of the Electoral Act is clear that all petitions must be filed within 21 days of the declaration of the result of the election. You must also bear in mind that Section 285 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is amended, and Section 134(2) of the Electoral Act 2010 are also clear that all petitions must be heard and judgments rendered in writing and delivered in open court within 180 days of the filing of the petition.
This time around, judicial officers are warned beforehand to be wary of the antics of politicians who are prepared to influence the outcome of election petitions.
It is therefore apt to remind you that your integrity is sacrosanct. There is no alternative to integrity, and it is not negotiable. You must ensure that your acts are in strict conformity with the law. Therefore, you must shun acts such as acceptance of gifts or favors from counsel or politicians, and in the exchange of illicit communication with parties, which acts would erode the integrity of the tribunal irretrievably.
The Chief Justice wants all 242 judges not to be deterred by uncomplimentary comments from politicians who may end up losing their cases. But he also issued a warning on the readiness of the National Judicial Council to deal with anyone found wanting in their duty.
Meanwhile, the Chief Justice of Nigeria has warned his colleagues not to be used to concrete democracy. Justice Mahmood Mohammed says anyone found wanting will have themselves to blame. He used the opportunity of the swearing-in ceremony of election petition tribunal members to hand down the warning.
Let me use this opportunity to sound a note of warning to all judicial officers. Do not allow any politician or political party to compromise your integrity or your future. You must never again be used as tools to truncate our nation's democracy. I assure you that any judge found wanting will only have himself to blame. as the National Judicial Council will definitely not spare the rod in ensuring that the honor, respect, independence of the judiciary is properly protected.
The police authorities have set up a special investigative team to investigate offences emanating from the forthcoming general elections. This was the basis of a directive issued by the Inspector General of Police, Sulaiman Abba, at the conference with senior officers from the rank of Commissioners of Police in Abuja. The team is to be headed by the Commissioner of Police in charge of the Force Legal Prosecution Department. The Inspector General of Police also reaffirmed the readiness of the police to ensure free, fair, and violence-free elections, as well as protect lives and property before, during, and after the elections. The police also wants politicians and other political actors to play the game by the rule. The All Progressive Congress has again raised the alarm on what it called plan by the Goodluck Jonathan administration and the PDP to cancel the 2015 general elections. The APC National Publicity Secretary Lai Mohammed revealed this at a meeting with journalists in Lagos. He stated that the judiciary is currently being courted by acolytes of the Jonathan administration to force election postponement with an objective to establish an interim government.
The non-election proponents are now working hard on their backup plan, which is to force a constitutional crisis that will ultimately lead to their goal, interim government. And the courts and tribunals are the main tools to be used in pursuing this devilish plot. They have re-strategized to procure blind judges to give outrageous and unpopular judgment at election tribunals and courts, judgments that are capable of destabilizing the polity. At the last count, 6 cases have been filed by the agents of those working to scuttle the elections, and we expect more. One of the cases, the Sademola of the Federal High Court in Abuja, on Monday, gave the order for a substituted service in the case instituted by Mags Uzoka against our candidate, General Muhammadu Buhari.
The APC also expresses concern over the plot by the PDP-led government to canvass the cooperation of members of the Council of State in aid bids to prolong the Jonathan administration in office, a situation it won, mainly to anarchy.
In addition to using the courts, they've resorted to lobbying some members of the Council of States to support their clamor for election postponement. We hope the Council, which is due to meet later in the week, will put national interests above narrow partisan considerations and reject the poison chalice of election postponement. We call on local and international observers. We call on the media to take note of the scheming by the election postponement campaigners. This is because if they succeed, observers will have no elections to observe, and the media will have nothing to report except chaos.
Northern delegates to the National Conference in 2014 have dissociated themselves from demands by some former delegates for a postponement of the February elections. They insist that the issue was never discussed either at plenary or committee sections during the conference and do not see why it should be raised on an issue from former delegates. Chairman of the Northern Delegates Forum, Ibrahim Kamasi, said in a statement issued in Kaduna that it was a personal opinion of the canvassers who decided to hide under the platform of the conference delegates. The group described the clamor as sponsored and urged the Independent National Electoral Commission not to take heed of protests and calls for new election dates. This, the Northern Delegate Forum says, is because Nigerians are eager to exercise their civil responsibility on the scheduled dates. The presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, has assured the business community in Kano of his readiness to revive moribund industries and textile companies. He also vowed to make the North the food basket of the country and create jobs for unemployed youth if voted into power. Buhari gave this assurance at a town hall meeting in Kano in continuation of his presidential campaign. He expressed concern at the growing poverty level and unemployment, which he blamed on poor handling of the nation's economy by the Jonathan administration.
We can only achieve this target if we are able to revive local manufacturing industries and stimulate value-added production. Gradual rise in cost of production in Asia provides a greater window of opportunity for us within the next decade. We can develop a made in Nigeria global brand within that period. Imported into power, we shall do the following. Firstly, revive the textile and other local manufacturing industries that have been rendered dormant largely because of government neglecting inappropriate or inconsistent policies. Reinvigorate the solid mineral sector by reviewing outdated mining legislation and ensuring greater transparency in licensing and operation. Work with state governments to turn northern Nigeria into Africa's food basket through a new system of grants and interest-free loans and the mechanization of agriculture. Fill the huge gap in middle-level technical manpower through massive investments in technical and tradesman skills education with direct involvement of the relevant.
Is Court TV News at 4 now. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with more stories outside its time now. Join us again.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
For more information on our news and other programs, like our Facebook page is facebook.com/Court TV News. You can as well follow us at Court TV News NG. And our YouTube page is youtube.com/Court TV space, then news. And now the race to who becomes the next governor of Oyo State continues as 4 out of 5 major contenders in the state have slugged it out in a debate on why they should be given a chance to govern the state. The debate climaxed when the incumbent governor, Abiola Ajimobi, and the former governor of the state, Rashid Ladoja, engaged in accusation and counter-accusation over misappropriation of funds by the incumbent governor. Our correspondent, Omotayalo, has details.
The audience may not compare to the expected voting population in the forthcoming governorship poll. It, however, spilled over the walls of the University of Ibadan International Conference Center, as its members were more than eager to know what the candidates have in stock for them.
We're ready to create jobs that will add to our gross domestic product, rather than take away from it.
We must be able to provide as a government services that will help them unlock those potential within them.
But I know that today, based on the level of ideas, with cleaner resources, this can be better.
Be it in education, be it in agriculture, be it in human resources development, be it in infrastructure, we have done better. Our performance is speaking for us.
Away from policy-making statements, the incumbent governor got some knocks from the former governor, Rashid Ladoja, who accused him of mismanaging public funds, an accusation the current governor was prompt to respond to.
We compared Ogun State flyover, which is double lane and 1.5 times our own. And we saw that for every 1 naira we still spent on their own, we spent 6
naira. So that is why the right out. Cost of any project depends on so many factors, i.e. your cost elements, the infrastructure of the road you are doing, the furniture of the road you are doing, the project, the areas of requirement in terms of moving. So generally speaking, my answer is without any reservation, the price of that flyover, when you compare it relatively speaking, even with Ogun State, it's a very competitive price.
The Social Democratic Party candidate Seyi Makinde had his questions for the governor, which attracted the interest of the PDP candidate Teslim Folari, who is not convinced with the peace-sustaining manifesto of the incumbent governor.
Whether you like it or not, SOCA existed before we came. That's number one. Number two, Seyi Makinde's case, I don't know the details. In fact, it is news to me. Yeah.
Though a keenly contested debate, the absence of the Labour Party candidate did not in any way take the shine off the occasion, as the members of the audience got more than their bargain. Omotayo Alo, Core TV News, Ibadan.
And now the battle for who becomes the next governor of Lagos State has continued to intensify. The Lagos PDP governorship campaign train Tuesday birthed in Ikeja area of the state. A correspondent to Oluwase Adegoke has more.
It was fun galore at the campaign ground. Party supporters, not minding the scorching sun, trooped out in their large number to welcome the Lagos PDP governorship candidate, Jimmy Agbaje. Chairman of the party in the state, Tunji Shele, implores the people to vote for Agbaje at the forthcoming election.
The local votes are very important to PDP in Lagos. It's important to Jimmy Agbaje winning. Your votes are equally important to President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan winning. It's equally important to all our candidates, from the senatorial seats to the House of Reps seats and the House of Assembly seats.
Agbaje assures the people that his administration will work for them if voted into power.
This same government, they say they are for the people. They say they want to continue. President say they want continue. They can't put advert or placard outside. They put change for something. I say for this Lagos, anytime I see that change, you know what you need to do? Anytime I see I'm going to just say, Amen. I assure you that we are here for you. The job of government is not to bully you. The job of government is not to harass you. The job of government is to ask you how your business can do better. Yes, sir. And how it can do better, because if you do better, you will employ more people in your business. Yes, sir. But the government of today, they enjoy to just harass us.
He also urged the people to vote for PDP candidates at all levels in the coming elections. Oluwase Adegoke, Core TV News, Lagos.
Meanwhile, the recent survey conducted for ANA Foundation by NOI polls on the Lagos State governorship election is predicting a tight race between All Progressive Congress Akinwumi Ambode and his People's Democratic Party counterpart Jimmy Agbaje. It shows a margin of 5% point lead for Ambode, with 25% of surveyed respondents pitching their tents with him. The result of the poll released in Abuja indicates 21% of them showed a presence for Agbaje. However, noted 50% of those polled are undecided on their choice of candidate, with a few weeks to the February 28 elections. And now, as Nigerian gets set for the 2015 general elections, the Electoral Commissioner, in Lagos, Akin Orebi, has appealed to Lagosians to go out and collect their permanent voter cards. Orebi made this known to journalists after a closed-door section with Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola at the State House in Ikeja. He says INEC has concluded plans to ensure that all eligible voters are not disenfranchised during the poll.
What we've done is to make arrangements locally to ensure that the cards are available for collection at the various polling units across the state. Our appeal to Lagosians who have not collected theirs and who did register either in 2011 or last year, 2014, is now to come out to collect their cards. They are now as closest as they can be made available to them at their various homes near where they're going to vote, or exactly where they're going to vote on election days. So we urge them to find the time to also come out to collect the cards. We're also appealing at this moment to the Lagos State government to help us consider maybe declaring a public holiday on Friday or so to also enable people who are busy with work to come out and collect these cards.
And outside Nigeria now, South African Education and Human Rights Authority said Tuesday they had launched an investigation into racism at private schools after parents at one of the schools complained that black and white pupils were segregated. The probe was ordered after 30 parents of children at Kuro Foundation School in Pretoria wrote a petition last month condemning the splitting of classes based on race. Well, and that's a wrap on Court TV News at this time, and thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. I'll see you again.